Hi guys, in this video today we're going to talk about communication between you and your partner. Now this is something that we say a lot, oh you should communicate and you should know what your partner's doing, but if you're not really sure what you should be saying, then this video is for you. The first area of communication that we're going to look at is when you've been lobbed. So if we're both at net and one of us gets lobbed and we're running back to play that ball off the glass, we want to know where our opponents are. And the easiest way for that to happen is for your partner to tell you. And really, the amount of communication increases the higher your level. So at the beginning, we're really just trying to get the partners to communicate at all. Anything that they're telling about their opponents, we're going to take as a positive. Right the way up to the professional, where they might say one person back, one person in the middle, one person very close, and explain exactly the situation so they can play off the glass with the most information possible. One of the keys to communication is understanding your partner. And I don't mean that from a language barrier perspective, although sometimes you have that as well, but I mean if they're describing the situation to you as quickly as they can, you really want to be able to understand. For example, if the people come to the net, then he could say a number of things where up, net, close, any of these things are describing that person. And if it's the first time you're playing with them, you really want to be able to understand what they're doing. And this is why when you play with a partner for a long period of time, you get to understand their communication and therefore you gel better as a partnership. So generally, you want to be saying either both of them forward or both of them back, or if there's a separation, you want to be able to tell them which one is forward. Now I've seen and played in different combinations where sometimes the partner describes the cross-court person. If they say mine forward, that means the cross-court person, or mine forward, sometimes they mean the down the line person. So that's something that you want to kind of establish with your partner early on. Like I said, that's probably an intermediate or advanced level when you're explaining if one person's forward or back. To begin with, you just want to be saying to them, the two are close. They've come to the net. That means you have to choose a shot knowing that they're at the net, whether that's a lob or you want to be aggressive. If they've come very close to the net, you might say very close, in which case it's obviously easier then to play a lob, you've got a lot more space. Or if they've stayed back, you know that it bounces off the glass and you can hit a medium to aggressive ball and then approach the net again together. A couple of common errors when it comes to communication. One is that it's too late. And by that I mean if you've been lobbed and the ball is bouncing off that back glass and you're halfway through the swing and then your partner tells you where they are, it's too late for you to change that shot, and more than likely he's probably just going to put you off that shot. So the communication has to be nice and early. It's the same when you communicate at net. If the ball goes up as a lob and you're going back to smash and the opponents are doing something, your partner really needs to tell you as soon as possible so that you can make that decision on your smash and change the direction or change the shot you're going to hit. The second communication error, which might seem obvious, but we see it all the time, is that if you want to tell your partner what's happening, you need to be watching your opponents. If you're watching what your partner's doing, you can't watch your opponents at the same time. So, if your partner's been lobbed, you want to be moving back here, telling them what's happened. And if they come forward, and you see them come forward, then you also move back into that defensive position with your partner, rather than standing at net and looking back, and then you're surprised if they come forward and attack that next ball and you're out of position. But we do see this all the way from the beginner level right up to the professionals. You see the professionals also losing some of the points like that. This video has covered the majority of the communication that happens between you and your partner. But really, to get a better feel for it, you should really watch the moving as a pair video. That will also give you where you should be going with your partner and which areas you should be covering on the court. I'll see you on the next video.